What up? So we are no longer whipping the Daihatsu Murugino. I am now falling in love with the Suzuki Jimny Jb23. So I've seen a bunch of these. I've seen them at the port, but I've yet to drive one that was 5-speed. And after traveling to Hawaii a handful of times, same with Japan, this car makes so much sense in a small island. No, it doesn't get cold and snow like Japan, but there's so much mud and sand and gravel and dirt in Hawaii. We're having a small, compact, 4-wheel drive turbo car is just perfect. So in today's video, here's the car we're going to be going over. I'm going to show you it on the highway, show you why I'm falling in love with it, and showing you why, although I've had 2 Jimnys and I don't really necessarily like to double dip, this JB23 is coming to the channel. This, the Murugino, I haven't driven the ODB yet, but seeing how that one redlines at 8,000 and just looks a little spoilier than the Gino, I think that one's also coming to the channel, so stay tuned for that. Let's pop the hood in the glove box, good old Jimny style. And I would love for my Suzuki Cappuccino and even Jimny owners to let me know why the K6A gets some hate. I feel like this is a great engine. It's chain driven, which I heard, you know, isn't some people's preference. In my opinion, I've never had any issues with it. To me, it even feels a bit faster and torquier. From what I know, even the EA21s, the later model Cappuccinos, come with this engine and they have better torque and better performance. I definitely don't have anything negative to say about it. As someone that's owned 2 J11s, that's why I like the JB22 so much. I feel like it just drives better on the highway, more comfortable. It's just a complete better experience. But here's how we're looking under here. Nice and stock. I once showed a clip of my J11 with a blow valve. I haven't seen full kits that fit the JB23, but I will, when I buy mine, for sure add an intake. We'll get some hard intercooler pipes. I've seen that. And then we'll also get a blow valve. Because just these cars with blow valves is just makes the car, every car really, but makes the Jimnys, because you don't really expect it in an off-road vehicle like this to just... From what I know, these all come with fender mirrors, which is pretty cool. They also have fog lights. This one also has suspension upgrades. You can see new shocks, new springs. What is this red bar called? Almost looks like a strut brace. So it has one of those as well. You can see under the engine, oil filter right there. It's on 195 R16s. They stick out a little bit, but I think it looks good. If anything, it needs a wider tire. And then back here, it has a muffler, which is real subtle. I want something exactly like this on my Murugino. Like, it isn't too loud, but it has enough little pops and cracks where it's noticeable. But again, upgraded shocks, springs. Back here, you have your spare tire and cover. I absolutely love the fact that it has a spoiler. Both these seats fold down. Get some additional storage. And then over here you have some of your tools along with some storage if you just need to hide something. And then something cool about the rear seats is that if you pull it back naturally, it'll lock in its stock position, but you can pull this up and drag it here or here if you have somebody a bit taller and they need some additional room. These newer Jimnys also have cup holders on both sides. Also have another little storage pocket there. Let's put this seat back. I'm gonna show you guys how much room you have if you have 4 passengers. So I would say this is a pretty good spot for the passenger side. My knees aren't touching. I can go like this, have a couple inches on both sides. And then if I just flip this forward, I don't want the seat to move too much. Let me head back here. And look, I actually have too much room, honestly. My knees aren't really too close to here. My thighs are okay. Again, it's a 4-seater. You can definitely not have 5 people back here. But you can have car seats now that it has rear seat belts, unlike some of the older Jimnys. But now let's start it up. Got the camera in the back so you guys can hear the exhaust. That's a nice cold start. I also feel like there's a lot of room here to work on whatever you need to do. And I think it's because the Suzuki Jimny Wide is essentially the same car, just with some wider fenders and a bigger engine. So you have space to change your headlights with no problem. All the belts are right in front of your face. Turbo's right there. Intercooler right here. You don't have a million vacuum lines. Just give it a couple revs here and then you hear it on the back as well. You can kind of hear the bypass valve. And then let me me punch it a couple times here. Exactly what I want my mirror to sound like. And then up here, no crazy throws or anything. You got power windows on both sides. Driver's side's automatic. Here's your light for your fogs. 5-speed, 4-wheel drive. Aftermarket radio, rear wiper, AC blows cold. Driver's side has the same storage cubby, power windows, big glove box. Does come with dual airbags, which is always a pro. Headliner's nice and clean. And surprisingly enough, you have a small mirror here, the size of about 3 fingers, and nothing but a sun visor on the driver's side. But let's close this. Just imagine this on the channel with some tri-spokes, LEDs, those tinted yellow, big decal. I want to put more liveries and decals in late 2023, early 24. Then I also feel like I need to get an off-road or winter Kei. I got the Blue Mirror walkthrough. That's like my show car, my forever Kei, so I'm not really going to be using it in the snow or necessarily really my daily. So I want a car I can go off-roading in, maybe a Kei truck, maybe a Jimny, maybe a Pajero, maybe a Terrios Kid, something along those lines. So now let's do everyone's favorite part. Let's drive this on the highway. Let me show you what the top speed is. Although again, this isn't a Cappuccino or Beat or TRX or Vivio. This is a off-road machine that also, because it has the K6A, is quick. Has the same engine as the Cappuccino. Hopefully the exhaust is picking it up, or the camera's picking up the exhaust. Just imagine a psh at every shift. Brakes work great. Idle's nice and quiet. I don't know what it is about like being here. It's just like I want to buy one of these cars and drive it home. I think maybe I'm just itching for a big road trip. I just need to get home and focus on my Blueberry Lemon. Because like I really would buy Rusty and drive it home. It's just 4-speed, so it's not realistic. The Genos, I don't really want to drive those all the way back. But this, imagine shipping this to Seattle or even LA and taking the north route, so taking like Colorado, Chicago, and doing all that around December. Like I want to say hopefully find snow, not like a snowstorm where I'm stuck in the Jimny, but hopefully find some snow, some ice, meet up with some K homies along the route, and like really just put the Jimny to its test on a long drive. I think that'd be such a good idea. So we'll see what happens. This one will be a good one too, since it has like all the suspension upgrades and stuff, and the tires already, like it's just ready to go. When Slater first drove this, he was saying on 60 miles per hour, it felt a bit squirrely, but that's when we looked under and we realized that it has the shocks and springs. So it would benefit from having a wider tire, because like if I go like this, it gets back into place, but it is a bit like squirmy, I should say. Now knowing that, I just take the turns a bit slower or position my car the right way, but it's not something that's necessarily noticeable. Like even right now, me just doing this pull. And then the fact that you're just sitting so high, I don't even know if this is a review of the Jimny or me just naming everything I love about it. But man, like, I haven't been a Jimny fanboy in a while. I think it's about time that we change that. Here's a shot of some good old Hawaiian POV. I don't understand. I wish I could speak to Suzuki and ask them what made them take away the boost light. Like, why did you guys take away the green boost light? That and the older 90s Suzukis just make the car so much cooler. You know when you're in boost, you have that little additional adrenaline. Like when I'm shifting and driving through the gears like this, I want to see a green light there. Working our way on the highway. Hear the turbo spool up too, which is pretty cool. Let's see if there's enough space for a top speed run. So I'm currently in 4th gear, 4,500 on the RPMs, 80 kilometers an hour. This is 5th gear at the same speed. We're at 35. That's usually what most people are doing on the highway. If I downshift, I can get to 62 miles per hour. Shout out to that K6A. So this is 4th gear, 5,500. This is 5th gear, 60 miles per hour. And then again, this is really where most of your driving is. For the purposes of this video, we're gonna hop onto Mexico real quick. Again, it's just gonna go about like 120. I don't even like pushing them. I'm not sure if it even can do it. I just don't like going faster than this. Like right now I'm going 70 in an off-road car. I don't need to go much faster. You hear the car. I mean, I'm at 5,000. I'm not at 6 or 7 where it's dangerously, but realistically, I don't want to be at 5,000 on the RPMs for a couple hours. Maybe if I had some street tires, I could do a bit better. I also want to add with these tires, you don't hear any road noise, which I think is a big pro. I don't like when people have certain off-road tires where it's just like the chunga, chunga, chunga. Like for me, this is perfect. Like I would, not even trying to be funny, I'd want my Jimny to be exactly like this. I'm really going to do some research. Like there's so many cars, even cars here that I haven't driven yet. Like I'm really excited to drive that Daihatsu ODB. I'm excited to see what that's like, even if it's automatic. There's so many cars that aren't here that I want to buy in general, like the Daihatsu Naked. That's another car that I've been dying to get. That one's 4-wheel drive turbo, and it's shaped weird. It has like, I'll show a picture on the screen right now. Like that's a car I'm dying to get. I think that's another one where if it gets to the channel, I put tri-spokes on it, I tint it, we put a blow valve, and we do a lot of fun videos and road trips of it, where that could be another one that just, like everyone's gonna want a Naked, which is funny to say. Like this would be up there with like one of the best Kei Dailies in my opinion. You can see 4 people. You got dual airbags, you got the turbo for the hills and the additional speed when needed. And then the capability, the fact that I can go off-roading, the fact that I can drive it in the snow during the winter months in New York. And I'm not sure how much parts that this shares with the Samurai. I'm gonna assume not too many. Unlike the J11 where you could buy parts on eBay, you go to Rock Auto, AutoZone, all those places you can buy parts. But I feel like this Jimny is also sold all around the world. I think these are in India, all over Europe and stuff like that. So I feel like even all Jimnys, if I'm being honest, are sold everywhere, and it shouldn't be too hard to find parts. Maybe I can't go to Pep Boys necessarily and find parts, but I do believe stateside, even if it's an eBay seller, I can find interior pieces, seats, and a lot of information on these cars. I had to pull over and grab this 360. I think one of my favorite things about coming to Hawaii is that I get to drive a lot of cars that I just don't have access to back home. And not only like just drive them, but really drive them, get on the highway, have them for over 24 hours. This one in particular, man, I gotta get my Jimny just like this. Obviously not as clean though, because you know we want some clapped out projects, which I asked for it with the blueberry lemon, and I don't know if I really mean that, but you know, we want something like this. I think we gotta find a way to get a JB23 on the channel. It's been too long since I had a Jimny. Wow, this is such a great shot. Such a great car. And now that we're back at JDM Hawaii, let me show you another Jimny. So this is the J11. I've had 2 of these models, both were the perfect amount of clapped out. I wrapped it, blow-off valve, exhaust, straight piped, rims, changed the mirrors, put seat covers, added boost gauge, voltage gauge, redid the headliner myself, added radio, speakers, everything. Click the corner to see that full build. But these are the Jimnys, in my opinion, that are the most popular. Maybe in due time, the JB23s, the J22s will get more popular, but people love these. They love how similar it is to the sandbar. They love this classic front end. They love the engine more too. I remember someone made a post and everybody was like, no, the J11 engine is 1,000% better. F6A, F the world. And I was like, I mean, I didn't have any mechanical issues. My manifold was actually cracked, funny enough, but I swapped it over. Car drove fine. It just isn't as good as the highway. Like, I would not feel comfortable, even less comfortable, going over 100 kilometers an hour, 120 in this one. Like, it just doesn't feel good. But you can see the huge difference. Like, look at this engine bay. It just looks very dated. Lots of vacuum lines in comparison to this. Both 660cc. Both Jimnys. This one's a 99. That one's most likely a 94 or 3. But a great looking car. Comment below, which one would you take, J11 or JB23? I can see a lot of people, I think Kevin from OK Garage said it looks like a Kia. And I mean, this one definitely looks better. If I could swap the looks of that into this chassis and this dual airbags and this engine and this everything, then I would do it. Because especially this one in that burnt orange. Peanut butter guts. But even this all looks very dated. Like, I'd want all this from the JB23. But still 4-wheel drive. 3-speed automatic. Pop the engine there. The seats back here, I could do a whole video on this, honestly. So this is me sitting in the back seat, and the seat doesn't even go back all the way. You can also click the corner if you have a J11 to see how to make these seats go all the way back with the aftermarket rail that they sell. But I will end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more bangers. I've been saving the best ideas and the most detailed ones for last. That's gonna be the K-Truck comparison. I already got the power gate lift truck here. Probably gonna do this one next, and then we're also gonna compare the scissor, dump, standard, this bed. And then I was shocked, honestly. I didn't know that many people are interested in these Mitsuokas. So I guess full video on this coming soon as well. I also have some bonus footage from the Jimny, so I will insert that in this video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out JDM Hawaii, road to 40K, road to 100K. Peace.